没有习惯幽默战士。
物理21好吗？
验幽默。
Okay, after dictation you write. What's this? Commercialize. Commercialize.
这我就知道。
Commercialize.
还想，但是
应该多选的。
Commercialize.
应该多选题目。21分。
有单选的。
没有多选，因为单选全部开同样的选项，你就超过20分了。
那我错，对不对？
对是题。
You write commercialize?
This is the last one.
Yeah, the last one, right?
Finish. Yeah,
Right.
I can see.
That's it, right?
Yes.
So who's coming?
Me.
我没想到我想。
Alright, paper scissors.
为才来的，才来的到，耶，到 no， 到到，
好麻烦。
到，哦，差点我要录那个在被他围剿，哦，他被，到，Oh no，动，
我要忙。
动，
我要忙。我们这莫名的默契
啊！
哎，你去好不好？
佳敏，没。
哦，录音。我以为在说你完成。
哦，走。
哎，你在动，耶！
赢的。
哈哈。
我根本不知道我要讲什么，我只会在上面拖时间。
你可以讲你的游戏已经满分了。
Are you ready? No. Enjoy. Okay? No.
你先拿去给他。
You did right, strict, right? Yes. I don't know. Strict. Hold on. Anyway, strict is an easy word.
有点问一下，麻将最后两个是要一样的，对不对？
应该。
OK。
We start?
哇。
走。What?
3 minutes.
No, always, not all. Alright, okay, listen to.
Yeah, 我放枪了。
This week. How long have you been to like 2 weeks? 2 weeks. I don't get it. You mean like it's been going on for 2 weeks?
But my health isn't bad.
What?
Lack of
Sleep. Sleep? Okay.
last Tuesday. Fever.
Oh, that's nothing word.
I didn't stay at home. I go just to I don't sleep last 2 weeks, but when I got home, the sickness got more heavy. And I went to a doctor. And yes, now I'm almost fine. But this week I keep coughing for the whole week.
Okay.
Don't know why. And every time the afternoon, everyone's sleeping and I'm coughing.
So you catch a cold somewhere?
I don't know. I don't think catch a cold, but I just cough. After, before I sleep and when I was studying every time. And the classmate next to me, he's sleeping and always wake up my me each time.
When you cough?
Yes, it wakes up. It's very loud.
Really not that.
I went to the doctor the second time and I got medicine. It's not yet. I'm not going to recover that thing. No, but because I ate the
probably not the news.
I think so.
It's probably something else that you need. Say don't rest not well.
Yes.
You probably just need to rest more. You probably just need to stay home.
We want to sleep like more earlier because after I went to high school, I sleep at like 1 or 2 o'clock every day. It's very different to me before. Before I was sleep at like 11 or 10, but now I sleep
Every day? Every day?
except for so I really
You have class tomorrow?
Huh?
You have class tomorrow?
Like 9 o'clock.
In the morning? Until what time?
Until 12.
12 like noon, right?
And I will go out with my friends.
I think you better sleep early than go back late, right? What do you call it?
那帮你排好那个顺序，对啊，都行。Last one，拜拜。第一，
好，再来是
对，他们，
然后再来就是
对，梁日瑞，好，海呀，
Okay, ready? 你每个星期都要换一个头像。
OK，So I drew the map in the summer vacation. Because I'm just the same map. And I got the prize for that map. So tomorrow I will go to get receive the award in the senior high school. Because that is the national competition. So and I'm not the first place or second place or third place. And just there are the awards, but it's not the top. 入选的英文入选，什么的？9分那个。Selection. Just to be select.
Oh, you're selected, but you're not like the.
Right now, the first place.
Okay.
Yes. But there is another team. Just through the different map. With us, but they didn't get a prize. So I think I didn't get the prize in the national competition. It's good too. And because it at least took me 12 hours or more.
You mean what you did took you about 12 hours or more?
Yes. So it took me a lot of time. But at last I get a prize and it's very rewarding. And I think if I didn't get the prize, it's also meaningful because I also learned some drawing skills for the math. And I didn't have that experience before.
So it's also some kind of experience that you got?
Yes. So this is the great end for this activity.
What do you call it?
环岛的
My map got I got the prize for map.
Theme? THEME?
Yes.
SUD
I do get better.
要不然就让慢就可以。
对啊。 Can't be right, man.
哎，等一下，
不是还是打麻将？
还没人。那我觉得我可以继续讲。
他要去。哎，emoji 是有几个？2个吗？
开出一点吧。
3个。
你们能开几个就开几个。
就是有第一步的其中。
还是我去加勾的题目。
Ready? 好，来go.
So today in our class we had a kind of like presentation to use English to introduce our school. And it's kind of driving me mad, crazy mad because there are four members in our group and I'm the only one who's doing making progress.
You mean this is like a teamwork, the 4 people have to do it together, but you're the only one who gets it?
Yeah, because 2 people's English are like, their English sucks.
Okay. So this is like an English project?
Yep.
Okay.
2 suck and one is, he's not doing it and his English is not that bad, but it's not that good.
No, that's bad.
So, yeah, because, and I wrote all the scripts and through the whole filter, like they did nothing, so it's kind of annoying me. So, and today when in class we were about to do the presentation and they were like, they remember the script, they're trying to remember the script right before they're trying to get on stage. So, and they did remember, one is kind of confident, I guess he remembered it pretty long ago. And another is, yeah, he's kind of a little bit smart, I guess. So it's fine, but he has some problems. His mind or brain has a problem. So he didn't really remember it well, and his English is very bad.
Okay. So how did he present it?
It was, I guess, fine, but he missed a lot of words and he looked really nervous. So actually, the 3 of them, all these bad, like their speaking presentation are pretty, and we have ranking, like grading. The others will be grading our presentation.
Okay.
And I just saw them there were 1, 2, like the speaking, the poster stuff, and I was the last one to say stuff, and I just said it and just pretty quick and just done it, and they were like, what? Yeah, because the grading was like, that's true.
Okay, so there's like a big gap in the difference actually between the previous people and.
I'm the one who's only doing the stuff, and
Yeah.
the others, they just did nothing. But actually, I didn't remember the script either, because I was just standing there making stuff, so I don't really need the script, but they need the script, they didn't do anything, so it's kind of like, they kind of deserve to.
So did the teacher realize it?
I told the teacher.
You did? You told her?
Because they didn't do anything.
Okay.
The rest of the class are kind of at the same level. Some girls are good, some are just, yeah.
So most of the classmates or the class members are like good at English and good at presentation?
No.
No, so it's the opposite. Not many are good at it. Okay. That's it? Okay, what do you call it?
English.
哎，我要进来。
不是不站起来了。
好，那个。
你根本就还没起来。
高HKBBUS。有那个很快。HKBBUS。HKBBUS。
Alright, here now.
BBUS。那个比较有。
Yes.
Okay. Alright guys, listen.
I discussed it, but physical and chemical teacher.
Physical
And chemical teacher.
and chemical teacher?
Just like
Wait.
then they teach me this
Oh, not physical.
physics.
Physics. why we don't say physical here?
Physical is active.
Because physical, it refers to something that is touched in this meaning. It's not like physical education. You know physical education, right? PE, right? But here, we're talking about things that are like bodies that you can touch, right? Like anything. For example, like this is a physical body, right? You understand that? Now, physics is something else. Physics is the science or the knowledge of bodies together, mixed together. This is what we call physics. Because you know you mix lots of things together, right? So we don't say physical, we say physics.
Basic.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, you say that.
And because we are always ahead of course schedule. So if we will have experiment class every 2 weeks, and he told me that we will make telegram.
Telegram. Telegram? Or telegraph?
Symbology.
Symbology 就 Telegram。
Telegram. Graph.
Telegram or telegraph?
M。
Like you just
Yeah, telegram.
M.
Yeah. You know, it's just like one single thing, right? And then you just press. And how many times you press, it means a word.
Then what is telegram?
Telegraph is a little different than that. It's a graph. You know what a graph is? What is graph? Graph is a chart. Oh. You know what a chart is? Yeah. You know that chart? Okay. The graph is a chart. And the telegraph, the telegram, actually they are the same. Yes, but the most commonly used one is telegram. Right? And the telegraph is used for, like, example, in some other countries, like in England, they use that, they call it telegraph. The rest of Europe, they call it telegram. But it's the same thing. But you know, because when things are new, you know, the telegraph and the telegram was a new thing, right? In the early 1900s. So it was, I think it was even like at the end of the 1800s. The first one was probably started around probably the last years of the 1800s. But anyway, early 1900s. So the people who made it and the people who actually commercialized it, they're the ones, you know, they have to find names for them. You understand what I mean? So this is why sometimes you see things that were invented in some place, they have a different name in other places. You understand what I mean? This is if the person who invented it doesn't really give it a name itself. You know what I mean? So this is why, like, sometimes. Okay, you know something? Hey, you know something called facts, right?
Fact.
A fact.
A fact.
Yeah. Fact. F-A-X.
Oh.
Yeah. And you know something called telex? You know telex? What's the difference?
Okay.
Huh?
说慢
Actually, there's no difference.
Telex.
T-E-L-E-X.
Oh.
Telex and fax is pretty much the same thing. Do you find it? Telex?
Yeah. 电传，其实传真没。
Okay, now try to find fax. F-A-X.
也是传真啊。
And then sometimes you see it's facsimile, right? It has another name too, facsimile.
Fact.
红色饭桌
Fact.
Alright, so these things are actually all the same. But why one is still called telex, one is called fax? You know why? It's because the telex was the first one used. The telex was used for like business purposes. You understand what I mean? And then the fax became more common, even within businesses. And after that, a lot of people had it at home. You understand what I mean? But it's exactly the same. It's the same as telegram and telegraph. It's the very same thing. Which one was mostly used? The telegraph is the setting of this. And the telegraph is the thing itself. Unlike the fax and the telegraph, nobody had it at home. If you want to send a telegram, you have to go to the post office. Only the post office has it. Nobody else. So you go to the post office, and then from there you can send a telegram. And you know you have to count, I'm not sure, have you ever seen that before? Have you ever seen a message sent by telegram? Have you seen that before? Yeah? Okay, so you know that the telegram actually is a very small little card, all right? And then you have to pay for every word. And every word, you have to pay for every letter in the word. You know that? Oh. So this is why, something like, for example, if somebody want to say, I am not coming today, right? They write, me no come today. Or me no come day, for example, me no come. But they will not write it because if they write it all, they have to pay more.
Oh.
If you read telegraph or telegram messages, you will think this person has a problem, the person who wrote, like the person who write these sentences, because they are all, sometimes they are wrong, but it doesn't mean they are wrong. They're just trying to save money.
Ah.
You saw that before? Yeah. Okay, keep going.
Yeah. Also, at this, his college, he told me that we will make telegram, then I just never read all the Morse code of English words. And, but now I have some words that actually come from A, so that I can come up with that. So now my first aim is that I can correspond every word immediately, and the second aim is remember all punctuation marks.
Yeah.
And last time we had retrofitted a line.
What's that? I didn't hear it. Say again?
Last time we had retrofitted
Retrofitted? Okay.
a line. Like,
Retrofitted lamp. Yeah.
like, the switch is with the spot, right?
Yeah.
And, we just welding it. So that, two sides of the switch can connect different spots.
Okay.
Yes. And at that time, like, other teachers we're all in a meeting.
Okay.
And we are just beside them welding this. But, like, no one thought that we are welding something. Maybe they didn't hear the sound or smell something burnt. But, what if通常
Usually.
原则上来说这样。
Actually.
So basically, we can welding things in.
Or you can say normally.
Normally,
Yeah.
we can welding things in classroom.
Uh.
But no one found that, so yeah, we did. And this device is really small and we didn't have intact tool set. So it's hard to welding. And I forget to bring the switch, so it's hard to control the wire.
Okay.
And a blind spot of this it will keep consuming power until we take out the battery or the battery is out of power.
Okay.
So it will just.
So it works with battery?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll say that.
But it has like this.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. I thought you meant the bigger one.
It's
Oh, just the little one, okay. Okay, so how was the experiment? How was it? How was the experiment? I mean, what do you think about it? How was it?
What? It's not really difficult in my imagination.
Okay, so you thought it was more complicated in your imagination, right? You imagined it more complicated.
Yeah.
But in fact, it wasn't that complicated. Okay, so did you make the telegraph? Did you make it?
No, it's, other, next.
Oh, so that's another class, right? Interesting. Okay, so you ever tried to send telegrams? No?
Google probably they have it.
Examples of old telegraph messages. This one is long. See, it's a little long. But they say Leslie Crowley to wed. Normally not something, you see? Like, dearest John and Martha, stop. So this, the telegraph is always has this kind of stop. You know what I mean? Like, you see a lot of stop. See? Like, to wed Joseph Jones, Grand Hotel, London, United Kingdom, the 9th of March, 1987. This is new. 87, stop. And then, what? The excitement and how we hope you will join us to celebrate. Stop. Formal invitation. So this one is new, I think. This is why it's also a little long. Probably got maybe a little cheaper after. But in the early 40s or 50s, it was very expensive. Stop. Because this, I think there's some kind of technique on the telegraph, just like the theory. You know what I mean? And then you go back again to like finish this sentence, finish this meaning, because they were so short, the sentences, and sometimes they were like, it would make you confused when you read that, you will not understand the sentences, even like it was going, or you come back to another topic or something, so they have to say stop. They have to like stop and then they go back in, and then finish that topic, stop. So sometimes it's the whole topic in one short sentence. But this one is in 1987, so this is why I was surprised it's a little too long. Normally it's like, I don't know, maybe just 4 full words. That's a telegraph. But they stopped using it for a very long time. So what do you call this? An interesting experiment? Interesting. Well, up to you. What do you think? An interesting experiment then? An intro. Oh, okay. An interesting retrofitted experiment. You mean this, right?
Yes.
Okay. An interesting retrofitted experiment. Okay. Next.
Yeah.
Come on, G. Come over here.
You guys.
Last year.
Last year.
Not last
Oh.
year. Our school
A long story or a great story?
It's a great story,
Great story?
but not long story.
What do you mean by great story?
Great short story.
究竟是什么 story？
Sweet.
哦，对对啊，对。I and my classmate and I went to play swing.
Play on the swing.
Play on the swing, and that made me so hot. And they pushed me because the swing is not just like two reds. It's like a big wheel of a car and it's push. But they pushed me so high, and then they stopped me. They only grab one.
So they just stop, the wheel stopped and you continue.
They only grab one thread, not two. So I only grab, so I fly from the wheel, and I go to here, and another thread push my neck.
Another friend pushed you.
Another thread.
Another what?
Thread. D-I-N.
Drain. D-R-A-I-N.
是水的吗？
追下水道吗？
哦，是下水道。
我不确定。
不是那个链子吗？就旁边挂在那里的铁链。chain。哦。
You know what drain is?
下水道，真的下水道哎。
下水道。
It is drain pull you there.
哇，我觉得。
蹦。
So that's that.
Okay, so this is a good story. Okay, this is a great story. Now tell me what you want.
Every year our school has a challenge.
We don't say have a challenge. Every year at school we have a challenge.
Every year at school we
But you don't say every year at school have a challenge. There's no have.
every year in school
At
school
Oh, sorry.
we have a challenge.
Okay, what is the challenge about?
We need to run 1,600 meters.
那明就是正常大家都要跑
没
的。
关系。
1,600 meters. That's a mile, right?
Yes. But last year I ran for 10 minutes and 30 seconds.
You mean
Great.
1 mile, 10 minutes and 30 seconds for 1 mile?
No.
Oh.
1,600
miles.
Yeah.
meters. What?
Meters.
Meters. Wow, miles.
Meters, not miles.
So that's a mile, that's what I said.
Meters, not miles.
1,600 meters is 1 mile.
Oh,
It's a mile, yes or no?
Yes.
I don't know.
1,600 miles.
160 miles.
Okay,
But this year, I don't know why. I run
wait, you got a problem with saying this year? It's not year. Remember, it's year.
this
Year is
year.
business.
This year.
No, not the year. No, there's no stuff. Year. This year.
This year.
Year.
This year.
Not your. What your? This
God.
This
It's God.
year.
Yes. You don't, look, you don't need to sound. The first sound is no up. If you say up, it'll make it hard for you to pronounce it.
This year.
This year.
This year.
Yeah, no up, no stop.
This year.
Good.
This year. I don't know what happened on me, but I ran to me. But I ran 8 minutes and 38 seconds.
For 1 mile?
Yeah.
8.
8 minutes and 38.
I know what happened.
Huh?
You ran on the road, right?
Huh?
Yes or no?
Yeah.
So you probably saw a truck selling tea or something. You try to catch
Truck something?
a truck selling tea.
No, we are running in the school, so there's no truck.
I don't know. So maybe you saw some advertisement in tea. Running out there.
Maybe.
8.
8 minutes.
It's a good thing.
But, we have, our class has 12 now.
Wait. Before you continue, I want you to stop. I want to know the world record for a mile. Because I think you're not far.
No, the world record is 5 minutes.
5 minutes? the official world record for a mile run is 3:43.
没有我去年跑10分17，今年跑8分3秒。
3:43。
太强了。
哎，很快。我9分钟3 miles。
我100公尺19秒。好嘛。
Okay, so it's 3:42.
Yes.
You almost out.
Yes.
No, it's like a little more.
这不就全力冲刺，然后去10圈？
哦，厉害。
Okay, and then?
But our school has there is some fourth grade in our school anniversary. But on anniversary, so our physical education teachers need to 那叫什么？我们安排那个是最近才学过的。Arrange the physical education teacher need to arrange some classmates to join the running race. But
Wait. What do you mean by need to arrange some classmates?
like you go to run the 100 meters and you go to run some 400 meters like this.
Okay, or you can say needs to select, like the word you said before, select. Select what? Select
the classmates.
Runners. Select the runners for the races. Or select the runners that are best fitted for different kinds of races. You understand what I mean? Like for example, some people they run best when they run, for example, a mile. Others when they run maybe like 1,500. Like others 10,000.
And then, but I am the 1 mile race. I am the fourth. I'm the fourth. I'm the number. I'm the fourth in our class.
The fourth.
The fourth in our class. But the first, he will go to the 100 meters race. The second will go to 100 meters race too. And the third, he didn't want. The third, he go to the 400 meters race. So I go to the 1,600 meters race. This is the first time I went to. This is the first time I go to the sports race for our class. Yeah.
I'm sure they promised you something, right?
What?
They promised you something.
Do what?
Just tell me the truth. Really, don't lie. What did they promise? They promised you something, some drink at the end or something like that?
Drink?
Yeah.
No, they didn't say, oh, they think I'm just going to have fun.
But they didn't say like after you finish, there will be drinks, there will be bananas.
No.
Sure?
Yes.
And then? That's it? No. This is a nice story, right? No, what about the story? Come here. Hey. Tell me something else. Hey.
Hey guys, he is listening. He is listening now. He is listening.
Hurry up, you're calling.
He is listening. I am afraid. I am shy.
All you need is sing. Hey.
Don't waste time.
Bonnet, they sleeping, don't start saying anything new.
Say what? Say what?
Tell them, say what?
Say what? Hey.
要讲大巨蛋的事啊。
大巨蛋啊！
没有从4年就开始讲大巨蛋。
Hey, what do you call it? Hurry up.
那是 Big Egg 了。
Come here.
Egg
What do you call it?
Big Egg。Big Egg。叫屁哦。
Running race.
Running race? Hey, come here.
那
Hey, come take a look.
OK。 办到的事情。
他选了一个，他是不是他技能就是个，他技能。
My right erase, right?
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Alright, take your, What a World 2. Last time we stopped at page 4. We're gonna do.
交作业的吗？没有 ，OK。
Yeah. Last time we did 4, right?
I don't know.
We didn't finish?
Fuck.
Start from 5.
Five.
Yeah, we finished 4, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
哦，先拿这一本。哎，另外一本。
Four stars still lost of destruction。他维基里面充足。
那还有叫他刚刚
Alright, so here it says making inferences. At
哎，你知道什么是刚
page 5, it says making inferences. All of the statements below are true. Some of them are stated directly in the reading. Others can be inferred or guessed from the reading. Write S for each stated fact, and write I for each inference.
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 I forgot.
太神奇
You
了
don't
吧？
infer. We did this word before, right? Infer.
I forgot.
啊，不知道 inference 这个。
反正这个 inference 应该就是相反的。
Is it no? Infer is the verb. It's the same.
我知道
Inference is a noun.
Infer.
What do you infer from the reading?
推论。
You understand the meaning? Like something you get, something you pull out, something you understand, something you realize.
Okay.
You find it?
Yes.
推论啊，该说的。
来，这是我这个来。
不可能。
Yes, something is true because of the information that you have.
Exactly. That's what infer is.
刚才有在变的。
We did this word before, right? Sometimes we have questions. They say, what do you infer from the reading?
Nothing.
像，
That's using it first.
今天很像是哦。
还有。
会 inference 的 infer 的名词。
Yeah.
你看 difference 是。
Infer is a verb. Inference is the noun.
哦。Infer.
念一个单词也没用。
Great. 跟上次完全相反。上次还没开始讲就已经充满单词，那个是还没讲完之后还没充满一个单词。
So here what we do is we have stated facts and we have an inference. You understand stated? Okay, let's go back to stated so you'll understand better what infer is. What is stated fact?
Already writing.
Stated fact is already there. It shows you the fact. But infer, it is not there. It's just something you understand yourself.
Use your brain.
Yes, exactly. You understand the meaning?
Big brain.
Oh.
Alright, so here it says if the fact is stated, you just write S. If the fact is inferred, then you write I. Now number 1 is Gutenberg was not a good businessman. Okay. Now Gutenberg spent most of his life and money making his printing press. Yes. Okay, next one. Gutenberg had no idea that his invention would have an effect on our lives today. Okay. Then the Bible was the most important book in Europe at that time. Yes. Okay. Now the Bible was the first book to be printed. Okay. So now here they say, tell the story. Word together as a class and tell the story. Okay. I don't think you want to do that. Now the discussion it says, who are some other people from history who have an effect on our lives today? Think. You know people. Newton. Okay. So what else? Except Newton.
Newton 就是我们现在要考的 Newton 就是
王八蛋的。
我讨厌他。
然后 Newton 就错一堆，就 Newton 就让我
Let me. Newton let me want to do it.
So what do you
第
think?
二单元全部都给 Newton，
Anybody who has an
太弱了。
an impact on people the way they live now?
正瓜，
那个叫啥？张骞。
正瓜天文开物啊。
天文开会中一星啊，你看。
啊，对啊，可以。
No? Anyone?
那张骞呢？
张骞，
同期语啊。
还有书啊。
张骞在地狱啊。
Come on, guys, tell me. What do you
班
think?
固吧，后来。
哦，汉书。
班固就喜欢。
Who for you is the person that has the most impact on people's lives right now?
不知道，我都没有教。
丑的那个。
我都没有教。
Mozart?
我
Okay. Well,
然后我们叫杰英文名字好了 ，Newton。我第一个。
alright, whatever, it's up to you. Newton, Mozart. Now, next, what is an invention that you could not live without?
That you could not live without.
Yeah, an invention you could not live without. Electricity, okay, what else?
我只知道李冰，高不高？我只知道李冰。
Books, light, okay. Paper, okay. Come on, you gonna think pencil, Wi-Fi? You said Wi-Fi too? Okay, and what do you say?
Phone.
Okay.
Fire.
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 Fire is not an invention.
Word.
Refrigerator. Wait. Fire an invention?
Word.
No, I'm asking you, is fire an invention?
Maybe.
Fire is not an invention.
Electric.
Okay, even the first people who made fire, who decided to make fire, let's say the very first person who never seen fire before,
对的。
how did he get the idea of having fire, or making fire? He saw how fire started, and they just copied that. Was that up? So fire is not an invention. They saw how the impact of the heat on their environments, how the heat actually started fire, like natural fires. All right, they know that it's the heat, and sometimes it's when there's the heat. What does the heat do? Actually, what does the heat do? It makes things get almost like some kind of degree that even when they touch each other, fire starts. Like for example, wood. You know what I mean? Like the natural fires that start in the summer. Sometimes when the temperature gets to more than 45 or 50 degrees or even 55 sometimes. All right? So that fire actually can move things. You know what I mean? Like things will move. Have you ever used? If you want to try one, but I don't think it's a good idea to try it. Yeah, it's not a good idea to try it. But you will be really hurt. Do you know what a magnifier is? What's a magnifier?
Magnifier.
Magnifier.
这是铁火。那是 magnet。
Magnet.
You never tried? I don't think you tried this before. This is something like a long time ago children used to play with. But it's very dangerous. No? Do you know what a magnifier is?
No.
A magnifier is something that it's something made from glass, and it makes things look big.
放大镜。
Yeah.
放大镜啊。放大镜。
Is it? It's not very clear what's inside.
放大镜。
Yeah. It's made of glass, right? That thing.
凸透镜啊。
对吧？
That is, yes, this is it. But actually, a magnifier is what makes
它会
things
聚
big.
焦呗。
It's the glass. If you take that glass, yes. If you take that glass, you put it on your head,
有凸透镜啊。
and
放大镜
outside,
是什么？
when it's sunny,
就是凹透。
your head will burn.
那个放大镜结合
放大镜。
Have you ever tried that before?
Oh.
Never tried that.
Burn them.
Don't try it. Actually, it will really, like, the burn will be something you cannot stand. If you put it on your hand, you take the magnifier, put it just above your head like this. On a sunny day where the sun has direct rays, it will burn your hand. It will burn your hand. If you do that on something else, maybe wood or something, wood or whatever, that wood or those leaves, they will burn.
And
You understand what I mean? So these things actually are things that existed.
I use the mirror to let the sunlight on a duck. And tomorrow, the plant, there's a scar on the cactus.
Yes. Yes, that's what I said.
这里这个点啊，
Are you
这个
even
点
human?
它被降掉了。
How can you do that to cactus?
Why?
Are you even a human?
Oh,
How could you?
I don't know. I don't know.
So this is what I say. These things, you know,
You make a
Wow.
man.
You make
these things are actually like the crystals. You know the natural crystals? Some natural crystals are actually just
Crystal.
no, not
消失的 crystal。
消失的啊。
它的会好卡太好。
anyway, there are natural crystals. Sometimes it's some just wild
Natural
areas.
crystal.
Those crystals, when there's light, it hits the crystal and it goes through the crystal to make a fire somewhere. So this is why a long time ago people saw this kind of thing. And then they started using crystals and started using these things to make fires and so on. So this is what I'm trying to say to him, is that fire is not an invention. Nobody invented it. Okay, what up? Hey, yo, you still haven't told me. What is a great invention? Hey, come on guys, hurry up, we're not gonna have time. Six, what is a great invention to you?
Great invention.
Yeah.
Airplane.
Airplanes? Okay, what else?
后面再加一个
MRT.
Manual one, two, okay. These are, what? Huh? Say it? Cars?
Will be a next great invention. Next.
invisible glove.
Invisible man.
Invisible what?
Invisible.
The invisible man.
The invisible weapon.
Invisible weapon.
Invisible weapon? Corona is an invisible weapon.
Corona.
That's your next girlfriend's name, right?
Corona.
我们在讲以前的
Alright, so next one is what do you think will be the next great invention? So what do you think? Imagine, probably not now, maybe 10 years from now, 20 years, I don't know. What do you think will be something that's going to be defiant, something that's going to be totally, going to take people to a different level?
悬空那个电子的那个虚拟电子。
More robots.
Say again?
More robots.
Okay, let me tell you one thing. You know this robot thing? Actually, it's just some people who started thinking about this in the early 1900s. You know what I mean? And then they imagined it, and from that point, a lot of people who invented things, they went on the same line. You understand that? But I think soon you will have other people thinking about something else. You know, even the robot that they will make, they will not look like the robot that we think about right now. I mean, that we picture or imagine. It will be probably something totally different. You understand what I mean? Because now we have things that people thought about. You understand what I mean? Look, here, we have somebody, let's say this is 1950, right? Somebody who has the picture of a robot that looks like maybe a...
Wow, what's that? Wow.
Now, from this point,
Minecraft in 1950.
okay, from this point, it kept going until this day, right? 2020. But along the way, it changed, right? It kept changing. But now what I'm saying is that people who are going to start thinking, maybe not now, probably 2020 or 2030 or whatever, So they will have a different way. They're not gonna picture things about. They will not picture things, that involve maybe robots like this. They will have something totally different. It's not gonna be a robot anyway. Probably something else. I don't know. And from that point, it's gonna keep going up, maybe even to 100 years later, and they will end up with some great technology that has nothing to do with this thing that was pictured in 1950. You understand what I mean? Everything, actually, everything takes a first step. You understand what I mean? Everything takes a first step. Because let's say, doesn't mean that this was created in 1950. I'll just give you an example. You know what I mean? But the first person who pictured this, we are still, until today, we're still working on robots like this.
So what's the robot like now?
Like this.
And
Last time there was a robot somewhere who kept talking to people, just like moving around, and kept saying things to people, and has like a screen on.
Oh, I know.
You know that kind of thing?
In the restaurant.
In some restaurants, and in some banks, and in hotels, and many places. And then at the end, just before the battery is over, the hotel will go, the robot will go back to its docking, charging base. It will stay there until it charges a little bit, and it will come out. Yes, exactly.
丑的那个，
叫什么名字啊？
什么东西？
我有点忘记那个机器人，像很常在什么饭店啊那些会出现那一种。
饭店有吗？
我记得还有一个忘了，
安妮吗？
叫我觉得不是叫安妮，
绝对不知道。
安妮是这个 CPU 啊。
对，安妮是一样。
高文。
So you understand that? So everything, like even this robot, it actually came out from the thinking of the first person who thought about it like this. You understand that? It has a head, it has arms, probably a body. But maybe what I'm saying right now is that in the future, it's going to be something totally different. Maybe it probably won't look like this. Won't be some machine with a head and stuff like that. It wouldn't even be something that you touch. You know what I mean? Probably a different thing. Come on, you wake up. You're sleeping.
对啊，我几百年没睡觉。
又比我晚。
你打眼速度比较慢而已。
哪一个？
靠北。
All right, so next it
9
says,
点来我就再也没睡过。
ask each other the following questions and discuss your answers. Now, Proust would not be able to use Gutenberg press for his own purposes today. How are inventions protected today? Why is it important to have these protections? Hey, so this is a very interesting question. What do you think?
3D，
You understand the question?
3D，按3D，有人知道3D 英文是什么？
我知道安利，
对啊，
你听过什么叫安利吗？
我知道。
是肾结石。
哦，这个就不知道。
我听过。
是肾结石。
Do you guys understand the
我
question?
做安利是3D。Patent。
Patents, okay, there's something called patents, yes. What else? Now, if you have the patent, you know what a patent is? The patent is a number. Do you know that? And this number is a protection for your invention.
Yes.
You understand that?
这是
Now,
受益权的。
yeah. And in an easy way, what do they call it?
不是吗？
They call it the copyright.
Oh, copyright.
You know what copyright is, right? Yeah.
哦，知道知道。
C-O-P-Y and then right, R-I-G-H-T. Copyright. You can see this word a lot in
Movie.
no, not in movies.
Oh,
You
not
see it in
Almost
every product. But the products will be different according to the kind of product. So sometimes you see a circle, okay? Sometimes it's R, sometimes it's C, sometimes it's
Corona.
You are Corona.
No.
there's another one.
Corona.
Anyway,
R-O-C.
no, what's R?
Republic。
No, Republic.
R is registered.
Oh, 注册的。
You product is already registered to someone, right? C means copyright. Like for example, R, you will see it on brands. You know brands, right? Brands.
Yes.
Like Coca-Cola, whatever, Nike, and all these things are brands. C, you will see it on books, on songs, on CDs, on. You understand me? So this is the difference. So this one is copyright. It means that someone's work, all right, is there. Maybe like someone's, I don't know, someone's poem, or someone's music, or someone's. Yeah, this is C. And registered products are like brands. For example, like a logo or something. You cannot copy a logo of some company, or you cannot copy a slogan of a company. You know slogan, right?
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
I'm loving it.
All right, so
I don't know.
this is what we say. So there's the copyright, and then they say, how did the invention of the printing press change the world? How did the invention of the computer change the world?
We can make the
How?
books easy.
Yeah, how did it change the world? Like,
A lot of books.
okay, I think, let me tell you one thing. I think you did not live during the time when people used to look for, there was a job. Actually, that job disappeared.
Job.
Yes. I'm sure you had a job.
Job.
They-
Job.
Okay.
Job.
There is a job. There is a job. There was a job before. I think that job disappeared. There was a time when if people wanted to write something official, they would go to a person, all right, who's called like a public writer. Public writer. Yeah. You know a public writer? A public writer is like a small booth, right? And then you just go there and you say, like, if you want to write something official, like something you want to ask the government for some paper or whatever, at that time they did not have any forms or anything. You go to this guy and you just tell him what you want, and he helps you to write just like a letter or a message to the government, but he types it. And with something we call a typewriter. You know what a typewriter is? Right? It's really big. It used to be very big like that. And then he had to hit, and it's really noisy. And then the letter would just like, shoot through the paper. So this kind of job is called a writer, or a public writer. Why they call him public writer? Because he writes for everybody, for the public. So you just have to pay them. I don't know how much they get paid. You pay them for their typing, and then they will just help you to write. Nobody had a typewriter at home, and nobody had a computer at home. All that was just something that was out of the world. All right. So these typewriters, they cost a lot of money at that time. Those people, they spend a lot. It's an investment. They spend a lot of money to buy a typewriter. So unlike now, everybody's got a computer, right? And everybody can use the same thing at home. From their phone and everything, you can print it out, even at 7-Eleven. So this is the difference between this and what they're talking about. Do you guys understand what it is?
Can write the
Huh?
Can write the make money.
Yeah, of course. They make a lot of money. Do you know where they are actually? They are not everywhere. There are many, usually near the government buildings. Because people, when they need those kind of paper, it's usually for something that is related to the government. So they are usually near government buildings when people go there and ask them to type whatever they want to type, and then they pay them, they give them money. So you understand that? Okay, what else? That's it?
Typewriter.
Yeah, typewriter. Have you ever seen a typewriter?
No.
Never, right? Typewriter is really, really big.
我有看过，就是有这个，
You have?
它有收藏一个在那后面的柜子，
哪有？
拿出来，好像有，可能那个是他没有送给他，反正那个也不是真的，
他没有看过。
Yeah, that is new.
你可以
You know the old typewriter is this big, and you have to be really strong. You know, you make you build muscles when you because you need to hit hard.
从漏字它还不能删掉。对。
它不就后来变成来的功能，那个
Yeah, something like this. Yes.
后期来自己。
And it's even bigger than that one.
那想要体验以前打字机的感觉，你就去买一个轻手键盘。
键盘转。
And actually, how do you go back to the line with the typewriter?
就那按会大声。
You type until the end, and then you have to push, and it's really hard, heavy. It's very heavy. You have to push very hard, and then you type until the end, and you push very hard. So usually, the people who type, they have one arm stronger than the other one, because the arm that push back, because that thing is really heavy. I'm not joking. Really, they're just like tennis players. You know tennis players? The people who play tennis, they usually have one arm stronger than the other one.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed?
你就是那个打网球的。
They usually have one arm stronger than the other one. And the same thing for the people who type on a typewriter. Because they cannot bring it back with this arm. It's usually this way. They type until it gets to the end, and then they push. It's really hard. You can hear it goes like through some kind of it's just like, you know, some kind of teeth going under. So it makes all that sound. You know, it's a metal thing. And it's really heavy. So when they push, it's just like they're working out. Just like they're exercising. So you usually see that the right arm is actually stronger than the left one.
瑞不要再睡，我打你
好吧，这个被发现了。
Ray is snoring, you know?
今天有点不太对。
没有
Alright, so
睡
next
饱了。
we go to 6, and it says,
今天有点不太对。
你要吃这种。
好，谢谢。
你可以去跟 Jonathan 一样啊，Jonathan 只是该
你开完来了。
好，刚好没关系，我这里有20遍讲。
alright, so now please, I want you to
他
write
每天上你。
one sentence here. Like here it says, the most important invention for me is the cell phone. I use it many times a day. Now I want you to write about anything you like. What do you think? What is the most important invention for you?
Most important invention
for you.
for me. 我这里有开口。
A short paragraph.
Come on, Joey, eating. What's that?
狗狗啊，冰。
Huh?
狗狗啊，冰。
Cocaine.
Can
是那个 Coco.
Bean?
冰。
Bean.
Coco.
Bean.
Coco.
干。
Cocaine.
is what?
Is what?
那为什么最那帮你？
一个我不知道。
只是2句话而已。啊？他说 write 6 sentences or a short paragraph。
后面还
那
有。
就 write
Okay, just you don't need to write that much. Just say something meaningful.
了解。
I don't say anything
麻将就
meaningful.
好了。
啊？
就写麻将就好。
麻将啊，麻将就是。
麻将。
麻将。MACHAM。
麻将。
I play it every day.
It is the best game I have played. It is the best game forever. 因为你送我这个都，就我在20遍讲它。
他挤那个什么点？
你为什么要从你的裤子里掏出东西呢？
你干嘛？你干嘛？
滔天巨龙吗？
花
先不要哦。哦，你掉到哪里去啊？
下
刚刚掉在下来，
网
下
站
下来。
shopping 网站
shopping，
干嘛？你干嘛？你干嘛？
我肺炎呐。
肺炎去。你就肺炎啊。
又不是得肺炎就会死。
有道理，可以。
可
website
，website 哇
website app PlayStation online 上 PlayStation 是狗
website，
要不然
耶，
不是产是网站。
对，我们刚刚是网站，英文怎么讲？I can use
网
you buy anything
那叫商业网站。
because I have too much money。看一下，我现在200块呢。其实更好哎，
我跟考场太难啦
哪有这么好玩的？
200块好爽啊
校牌不是
啊，你有那个吗？你有
校牌3
英文？
总共60几
啊，你有
个
100啊？你100啊
94。
？100块。
对呀，
我班排你知道多少吗？4、5名的啦
真假
21
一个
了。
人
21分的物理啊
几个人3个哦。哎不对，那应该是有5以上，那6哦。
没有啦，我们班33个啦
我靠，你8服哦，不是啊？
8服干确打
不是8服啊，该叫
没有啦，我只是自然科懒而已，我其他科也算强。
日文的。
日文你吗？
哎呦，不是该叫的。
没有画过这种画法。超帅的。
我很帅的，但是那个主角啊槟榔的，
是冰的。
你表示他一直在群里传东西吗？
他叫槟榔的，我们就看第1集，他要在第1集出现吗？
最强，人类最强士兵。
他冰岛在第1集出现吗？
没有。
没有，好。
就是后面那个很矮的那个。
你的头要爆，你的脖子要不见了，
不行
然后你要失踪了。
然后买就 yes。
Alright, so what do you write?
啊？
才160。
好吧，有点还可以。
Alright, come on, tell me, what do you write?
The most
The
important
invention for me is the mahjong.
How and why?
Okay, why?
Because it is the best game forever.
Is what?
It is the best game forever.
Best game forever. Okay. Well, what do you guys wrote?
I write shopping website.
The best invention for you is to shop in a website. Why? What do you shop for?
I can buy some pants or clothes
不会是包当农夫的。
or oh no or some pen or correction tape. 像他们自己会写
So you're an online shopper.
maybe
What do you mean? What do you mean maybe?
uh
You buy that online? You buy lots of stuff online?
I like something I like, not everything.
Not everything.
我先被一半都
But how do you shop? Do you have a credit card?
I just use my mom's account and that my mom says okay and let me buy.
Okay. Too small. Close. Yours. Close. What do you write?
Important invention for me is spin.
冰
冰箱，对，就是麻将，冰箱，麻将，冰箱。
It is piano because
Because
it relieves my stress.
Because
It is the piano because it relieves my stress.
Yes.
That's it. Alright.
Your turn.
Victoria,
我就是没有靠近。
the most important invention for me is
我这里零倍做好的。
Mike?
这样子啊。
without it we can't see clearly the night.
干嘛？你干嘛？
我把自己的手打到麻掉。
念通。
Julie, what do you write?
他也拿麻将。
The most important invention for me is the electricity.
Me too.
Because without it, you can't charge your phone.
啊，
Right?
你们做拼图跟我做同一个。好。
Alright, so.
对啊。
Alright, so next part. Let's do next thing. It says silent letters K and W. Come on, you please listen. Here, the silent K. The silent K
usually comes at the beginning of a word and is followed by the letter N. They use a knife to cut words in the block of wood. You know what block of wood is?
Block of wood.
What is block of wood? Yeah.
Wood block.
Yes, exactly.
那个头啊。
Now the silent W usually comes at the beginning of a word and is followed by the letter R. People usually wrote books by hand. Okay, so now circle the correct spelling. Circle the correctly spelled word in each group. You may use a dictionary. So I think this is not really hard for you guys, so you know that, right? Number one is? Second one, wrist. Number two is, the third one, knees. Three, the first knock. Second knit. Third wrinkle. First. Second, number two. Rob. Rob, steal. You know, like, Komachi robbed the bank last week. And he's going to jail next week.
我们 pray
就以前大概3年级上已经衣服上面有口啊吉这3个字，就是这样写的。不知道忘记怎么念。一台火车里。不知道。
Right, and then here it says, complete the words with K-N and W-R or R. So, in Gutenberg style, people wrote, okay, books by hand. Number two, Gutenberg had no knowledge, so which one is it? K-A-N, printed in China, and then, what? New, how do you spell it? K-N, he could make money from the new invention, so how do you write new? N, okay, next one, four people. Needed, what? N, okay, books two. Read R, okay, next. Only. R, and write W-R, okay.
writers
W-R, like the printer. R, okay, and then next,
We now know the.
Okay, you know, actually, let me tell you one thing. Here, it's easy. You can write now first and then no after, or no first and then now after. You can say we now know or we know now. Up to you. The importance of Gutenberg is mentioned.
it's a thing.
Yeah. And then here it says right sentences using the words you circled in part A. So I think this is an important thing, right? You don't need to do it.
Boring.
Because it's easy. And next here they say the world's oldest printed book is a copy of the Diamond Sutra, a sacred Buddhist text which was printed in China in 868 BCE. Now, printing didn't advance quickly in China because the Chinese script has thousands of different characters. The technological breakthrough of the printing press has been compared to the invention of the internet. A copy of James Audubon's Birth of America sold for $8.8 million in 2000, making it the most expensive print book. Script. Script is something you write by hand. Script. Second? A script? No, no. No. Yeah. Script is something written by hand, and a script is also the dialogue or the subject of a play or a movie.
Oh.
You understand that? That is also called script. And it's also called scripture with U-R-E.
Scripture.
Yes.
Is the same meaning?
Yes, the same meaning. And it can be a noun, it can be a verb too. You can say, for example, something was hand scripted. So for every movie or every play, there must be a script. For example, like the people who play in the in a movie, right? When someone, for example, a person, a movie maker, when he decides to make a movie, what does he do first? He writes the script and he sends it to movie stars. They read it, alright? And if they like the subject, if they think the subject is really good and they really want to take part of it, and then they say okay, and then they start making the movie. So the script is the first thing. A play maker or a play writer, the first thing he writes is this. You understand? Okay, so, alright, let's put this away and take your other book, World English 2. Last time we stopped at 25, right?
So now we need 26 and 27.
We finished 25, right?
Yeah, so
Okay,
先
26.
两页 26 and 27.
Okay, I will do 26 and 27 if you can find someone that you know there. Can you?
对，
Okay.
有机会哦。我们可以找普丁，
普丁，
Waiting for them.
不一定就是。
Okay, stop. You get a headache. That's fine. Which country? If you just tell me which country
我
this
找
is.
到了，这个是我。
Okay, stop. Just tell me which
这是我
country.
三姨
Which country this is?
闭嘴啦，混蛋！
You tell me which country this is, and then we just.
London，
Huh?
London，
London，你记得？不是？London。
Yes, it's London.
Oxford.
Okay, so Japanese inspired Shibuya style. Do you know Shibuya? What's Shibuya? Shibuya is the world's. Shibuya is a place. It is an area in Tokyo,
第一版等等。
and it has the most famous crosswalk intersection in the world.
交通。
Do you understand? What's crosswalks?
十字路。
Yeah, the crosswalk intersection, the most famous crosswalk intersection in the world is in Shibuya. You know, it's a place, actually, I'm sure you've seen it somewhere on TV. When the traffic light turns red for pedestrians, you know pedestrians, right? What is pedestrian? You know pedestrian?
哦，新的。
Pedestrians are the people who walk.
人道。
Yeah, people who walk on their feet, not the drivers.
Pedestrian.
Yeah.
Pedestrian.
P-E-D-E-S-T-R-I-N.
Pedestrian.
E.
Pedestrian.
Got it? Okay, so when the traffic light turns green for pedestrians, all right, you see like thousands of people crossing at the same time.
Wow.
It's very big. It's a very big intersection. A lot of people cross at the same time. That place is in an area in Tokyo called Shibuya. So here, what they say, Japanese-inspired Shibuya style crossing at Oxford Circus in London. What does that mean?
It's the same style, but it is.
Yes, actually, they made this a copy of Shibuya. And let me tell you one thing. In Taiwan, you have many also inspired from that place in Japan.
Shibuya.
You didn't see that in Taiwan. Here, you have some crossing areas. You can cross this way and this way, like
Yeah.
that, like a crossway.
They just wait, right, road, to a line.
From like, but sometimes like from 7 to I don't know what time, around 5 to 7,
Oh.
something like that, right?
4点到6点。
But if the one in Tokyo is 24 hours, it's always like that.
Tokyo.
Yeah. So a lot of countries actually they copy that kind of because why did they do that? You know why? It saves time. It saves time for crossers.
Stories and the.
Yes, instead of going this way and waiting for another traffic light to change, like you can just go straight. You wanna-
I just ran a red light.
So it was a smart way, you know, to cross. Okay, so next it says, here what does it say? What can you find in a city? What can you find in a city, and what is your city famous for? What can you find in a city?
People.
Well, of course, people. You
People
know any city without people? What else?
Oh,
Trees.
everyone.
No, not seldom should find trees, huh?
Everyone.
Really? Are you sure? Every city has Taipei 101? They say in a city, not in your city.
Building.
Buildings, shops,
Trucks.
trucks.
Weed.
Wait, let me tell you one thing. Weeds are in your head.
No.
Not every city has trucks. You know that many cities, the trucks are not allowed to go in the city.
Really?
Yes, many cities.
You mean like in Taiwan or other countries?
No, not in Taiwan. I know in other countries,
Okay.
some cities, they don't allow trucks to come inside the city. The trucks can go outside. You know, like the trailers. You know trailers? What is trailer?
Trailer.
You know trailer? I'm not talking about a small trailer. It is not a trailer as you know, because there's the camping trailer, all right? That's also called a trailer. But I'm talking about 18-wheelers. You know 18-wheelers? Yes, 18-wheelers.
18.
What's 18-wheeler?
这个没有
18-wheelers. In America, if you say 18-wheelers, it means that those very long trucks, you know? Actually, if you count how many wheels they have, you'll find they have 18.
一边有的。
Alright? So 18-wheelers are not allowed in the city. In some big cities, they're not allowed inside. They can go around the city, but they can't go inside the city. You can imagine 18-wheeler in the city. What it's going to cost? The traffic is going to cost. You understand? So, we found it? Yes, that's an 18-wheeler.
18. Oh. The truck.
Yeah, it's a very big truck. So these 18-wheelers actually, why? You know why? This is also the reason why you see in some cities, for example, like when some big company, right, they have something like they buy some kind of products, for example, and they stock them. They usually don't implant themselves, or don't open a place in the city, it's usually outside. Because if they put it in the city, the truck can never go in. So they usually take, buy a place or hire or rent a place outside the city, so this way the trucks can come and put big loads of stuff. For example, like, I don't know, maybe like Coca-Cola and things like that, the way it is in America. Maybe in Taiwan, not small trucks, right, that go around the city. But 18-wheelers transport Coca-Cola and transport, they cannot go inside the city. They go outside the city, and then they have smaller trucks that take things inside the city. You understand? Okay, so we say that there are like maybe shopping malls, there are, what else? Buildings, parks, cars of course, monuments,
Roads.
definitely, roads. You know monuments?
Oh.
You remember monuments? Is there a famous monument in Taiwan? Huh?
国旗留纪念碑。
Okay. Actually, Taipei 101 is also a monument too. But it's not, the monument has two meanings. One is the historical monument that has history, and one is just something that the city is famous for. For example, Taipei, the monument in Taipei 101 is a monument for Taipei. When people see it, they think about Taipei. They know it's Taipei. But it's not like the historical ones, like for example the pyramids of Egypt. That's historical. Okay, so next, what is your city famous for? What's your city famous for?
101. World Trade Center.
Bubble tea, right? Say it again. Go on in. That's all you have in mind? And we. Huh? What's that? Fried chicken?
Fried chicken.
Chicken
pie.
Alright, so next one, it says, describe your city or town. How would you describe it?
Good. Very noisy.
A very noisy city?
Fight in legislature.
fighting legislators. Okay, yes. You know, let me tell you one thing. I don't think you know it. Do you know what people know about Taiwan outside Taiwan? Long time ago. You know what they call the parliament in Taiwan? You know what parliament is? What's parliament? The parliament used to be called the ring. You know what a ring is? The ring is the place where boxers fight.
法院。
还有拿椅子丢人的。
Really? I'm not joking. Outside Taiwan, people call that the ring because every time there's a picture from Taiwan, people are always fighting.
好丢脸
这真的是台湾最丢脸的。
现在不是还拿椅子丢人？
还有那个把别夹在那个桌子上。
战斗服。
Before, I'm talking about a long time ago.
Oh my god.
Yes.
还有牛。
Maybe not as
现
different.
在还有的很少。
Do you know why? Actually, do you know why they show that on TV and why they call them like that is because these people are, if you want to be a politician, you know what a politician is, right? What's a politician?
政客。
If you want to be a politician, you need to study a certain kind of study, right? What is that called? Diplomacy. What is diplomacy? Diplomacy is the art of being diplomatic, even when people stand in front of you and they're so angry, maybe sometimes they say bad things to you, you need to calm down and answer without saying something bad. This is called diplomacy. But it looks like those guys in the parliament at that time had no diplomacy at all. So you know what I mean? So this is why it was weird for someone who represents a country to act like that. You understand what I mean? So this is why it was on TV around the world all the time. It was like, just something that people find it so weird. Those people are supposed to have studied the diplomacy, so they shouldn't act like that. They shouldn't fight. They should.
Independent.
No, it's not about. No, it's nothing to do with independence. What I mean is like, if you're a diplomatic person, diplomatic person. If you're a diplomatic person, you should never, even when you're angry inside, you should not show it.
I know.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you should not. You never show that you are angry or that you are afraid. Or that you should never show that. And how do you learn this? You learn this at special schools, right? Those schools they teach you the diplomacy. They teach you how to act. You understand that? Like people who go to universities of political science, for example. You know political science? What's political science? You guys know this? Come on, do you know political science?
Political science.
Yes. It's a subject that people study.
社会。
You don't know?
哦，yes，
Found it?
政治科学。看不懂。
Political science, actually, they even have some diplomatic classes about diplomacy. They teach you how people should act. How, like somebody who comes, because you don't face people like you. Sometimes you face people from the street. Some people from the street, they're really, some people are really bad. They'll come and insult you, say something bad to you, try to attack you. Does it mean that you have to do the same thing? You can't do the same thing. You have to find some way to respond, to give that person an answer, but still keep the smile. You know what I mean? So this is why actually they used to call that the ring. Yeah. It's funny, but now I think now it's different, right? It's not the same thing.
你说立法院这个 ring。
现在还是吗？
Is it? Really?
3 months ago.
Yeah, 3 months ago.
3 months ago，好像说什么陈玉珍摸什么，是这样，反正就打架打到一半，说什么陈玉珍说什么抢王去夺选票，还叫他口才去。然后王去夺就开始告陈玉夺上医院治。
These guys are strange. Like, I don't know what they do that.
Yeah.
Should not, you should be different than normal people. You should be more civilized, actually. You know what I mean? But you know what civilized is? What's civilized? civilized?
文明的，应该是
A person who's civilized doesn't do anything. You know what I mean? For example, if somebody wants to come and fight with you, don't fight with them. You don't fight with them.
所以一开始要投票嘛，就他们有那什么投票箱也开了。
那现在怎么台湾人这么
Okay, anyway, so next one it says, describe a city or town and explain what makes a good neighborhood. What makes a good neighborhood?
Good neighbor.
Yes, good neighbor. That's the most important in a neighborhood.
Quiet.
Even if you have all facilities. You know what facilities is?
设施facility.
You know facility?
啊，设施是吗？是呀，练单是有3个。
好棒？
最近刚在开讲很多
We did this word before? No? Facility.
maybe facility 就是设施设备。
So even if you have all the facilities you need in your neighborhood, if you have one bad neighbor,
kill him.
then your life becomes hell.
那我就变 bad neighbor.
Emergency.
Okay, so that's anyway.
Emergency meeting.
Good neighbors is the most important thing. What else? What comes next? Facilities.
Facility.
What else? Environmentally. Okay, okay. Clean environment. What else?
The pride. The pride of your neighbor.
Quiet. Okay, maybe peace and quiet.
The pride of your
Huh?
neighbor.
What's that?
The price of your neighbor.
The
Pride.
pride.
Pride or surprise?
Pride of your neighborhood. 价值
The house.
You mean the prize? The money?
The money of the
The
house.
house.
I think for you it's just the tea shop, right?
The food.
The food.
Huh?
The food.
neighborhood.
Alright, next one, discuss an action plan. So,
北
is
东
there
大
an
楼
action
左
plan?
那个都开一家老虎。
Action.
Action plan. Like, for example, let's say that there's something that you're not really happy about in your neighborhood. You need to act. What would you do?
Kill them.
No,
Kill
no,
them.
it's not about
Dead
killing.
body report.
No, it's not that. Okay, for example, listen. Some people throw, maybe there are not many trash cans, for example, in your neighborhood. So people just drop stuff outside, litter outside, right? So you need an action plan. You need to do something to change that thing. So what do you do?
装垃圾桶，
I'll say it.
装垃圾桶。
Yeah, there's no.
So
Trash
buy.
You're not gonna buy it. It's you know like a whole neighborhood. You're not gonna put it in every neighborhood, right? You know what I mean?
Yes.
So what would you do?
I will buy a trash can and put that.
I know what you mean, but it's not like okay. Probably you would put pressure on the representative. You know what a representative is? A person who represents your neighborhood in the city, for example. There must be somebody for every place that represents that place in the city, right? Or in the city government. So you probably put pressure on these people to actually put pressure on the government so that they can put some kind of trash cans, for example, or garbage cans, or and you know also have people clean up probably the street. You understand what I mean? So maybe, representative.
刀甲在那掏你的口袋里的糖巨佬，糖巨佬，
我的巨佬。
就类似
Representative.
没有吗？
你巨佬。
黑色魔术。
And representative is also a person who represents someone or some people or whatever. You know represent, right?
Represent.
For example, you can say, all right. For example, let's say that somebody, okay, Omachi has a wedding, he's getting married, right?
Oh, yes, yes.
So Omachi
Oh,
invited
no.
someone's family to come, but they can't all go. So they just ask maybe their son or their daughter to go attend his wedding. And she goes there and says, I represent my family. On behalf of my family, I came here to represent them. You understand?
Yeah.
All right. So, what else? Is that it? Next one is make predictions about cities in the future. How would you see cities in the future? Or,
Detroit.
Good.
Detroit.
no, I mean like what kind of futuristic, you know what futuristic is? Wait, like ADJ that shows the future. futuristic cities.
未来的城市。
Detroit become human.
Futuristic.
How would you see a futuristic city?
Invisible.
Muji.
Muji 在附近打仗。
Futuristic.
会打。
Okay, which city do you think around the world right now could be futuristic?
台湾。
Taiwan or which city?
台北。
Taipei is futuristic. Okay, what else?
Garage.
Huh?
Garage in Pakistan.
What's that?
Garage in Pakistan.
Garage. You park a car there or something? Oh, what?
Garage in Pakistan.
Garage.
克拉斯。
It's called Karachi of all.
Karachi.
Karachi.
Garage in Pakistan.
in Pakistan.
What else?
很有钱，那些会变有钱。
Pakistan.
Which city do you think now is almost there? It's a very futuristic city. Which one?
Tokyo.
Tokyo.
London.
London? What else?
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong?
美国戏骨、中国戏骨、印度戏骨、
西谷，
张家
台
口。
湾戏骨，
Any Sigu.
西谷 all around the world.
西谷。
有很多戏骨。
Africa.
Africa 有西
Africa's
谷
not
啊
a。city. Is Africa a city? Actually, I think Dubai is.
哦。
Dubai.
Yes.
还有卡达。
Huh?
卡达。
I'm not talking about buildings like everything. You know what I mean? What I say is like they do something out of the world, something that people don't even think about it. You understand that?
Star
他们就
No, it's not
然
about
后
that.
就说他们把冰，
Now they have
或者是哪边把冰锯下来扔过去。
they already have the world's tallest building,
太
right?
有钱气呀。
他们太有钱了，
You know,
然后效率很差。
you rent a mile in how long?
啊。
You rent a mile in how long?
Just a mile.
8 minutes 30 seconds.
8 minutes, 30 seconds?
啊。
So they're actually making a mile tall building right now.
哦。好慢。
今天晚上跑，
真假？晚上跑8分钟。
Now they have like 800 something, almost 900, right?
嗯。
They all already have the world's tallest building right now. It's about 800 something, almost 900 meters. Now they're about to make a mile.
I think Qatar because Qatar will have World Cup.
Yeah, well, I'm not
sure.
sure. 2022. But anyway, maybe, or probably Tokyo will be back again because Tokyo they stopped for a while, right?
Tokyo.
They were going very.
Tokyo.
Tokyo.
All right, so take care of the book.
Tokyo.
Cheers.
Tokyo.
Tokyo is the crazy so.
Tokyo.
The musketeers.
新美他讲
Hey, what word did we say before? Futuristic. What else?
Parliament 这个副
Parliament.
请问你认为没有富邦已经下去的时候，
什么啊？哦，你们这些人就是糟糕啊！统一是什么？
统一就是表达
统一是垃圾啊！
兵役
哦
中很
现
多
在是谁？那个中信跟
统一啊。
中信万岁！
明天呢？
啊，明天现在打多少？没看，
冠军赛啊，明天。
没开打。
对啊，冠军
啊
哦。没关系，敌人的敌人就是我们的盟友。
统一，他们要夺冠了。
What else?
统一死啊！中信兄弟万岁啊！他们在哪一队会奖杯不会怎样？
Do you remember the words we said? We said,
啊，
we said parliament, we said futuristic, we said representative, and what else?
Political.
Political.
那个
Political is an ADJ.
那个 civilize。
Yes.
还有 race。
No, you don't need that. C. Is that it?
我记得他在让头讲很多不知道的，可是我忘记了，因为我不知道。
有道理。
Monuments? You know monuments, right? No? Or we write it to
没关系啊，都写吧。你们写图之一这个人生，还有那个开创地图。
才22，他看这个脸都没摆了，想到
他写至少4遍了。
So you know what it is, right?
A lot of catch 22 and dilemma. 随便把那个看
This one, you don't need to write this, right? It's easy.
no.
Okay, catch 32.
Catch 42. No, how about catch 42?
Catch 42.
Catch 44.
Actually, there is a catch 40.
还真的有哦。
Catch 40, no, but it's not 42. It's 40 winks. Winks. You know winks.
眨眼
What's catch 40 winks?
hurt.
Okay, we're gonna write that one.
还真的有哦。
Catch 40
Catch 40.
Wow. And
快的单词之间。
What's catch 40 winks?
40 ways.
No.
大眼是
Doesn't
过
mean
敏
that.，
过
Allergic.
No, it's not that. Catch 40 winks, what is it? It's American English, what does that mean?
抓40
开始 get in
Catch 40 winks. It means to
on the street.
sleep. Not want to sleep, sleep. Yes.
Oh, you.
Usually, when you catch 40 winks, it's not sleep the whole night. It's like a nap.
Single one.
You understand what I mean? That is the meaning of catch 40 winks.
Oh.
For example, you can say, I was so tired from yesterday, but I was able to catch 40 winks this afternoon. You understand that? It means I was able to take a nap this afternoon.
Sleep a short time.
Yes, exactly. To sleep for a little time. A short time, actually. You find it? You find catch 40 winks? And if it's in the past, you say caught. For example, you say, I was so tired, so I caught 40 winks.
Oh.
You understand? Yes. Anyway, so like, you say 20, 22, now you have 40. Okay, so let's read the Three Musketeers. Last time we said, chapter 4, right?
Of course, parents running from children. Money that the king has given Jeffrey took it in turn to provide some money and invitations to dinner with his friends. When one was invited to dinner, the others didn't know and so did the service. They got a small advance on their wagon from the investment, and this helped for a while, but then when they looked for again, that's when they began to wonder why the soldiers prayed for such a young man who could help the family together. Well, he was thinking about it one day, he had a visit from his landlord, he did not recognize him, he had not paid any rent for 3 months. The landlord was a timid, well-being driver. All that he took, and he promised that he would help him. Instead of him overlooking on his rent, in fact, he promised that he would never charge his rent again, and that he would also give him $50 also. My wife is wrong with me, he said to his father. Yesterday morning, he was kidnapped. Word is told me that the queen was afraid because the cardinal was Christian. You Sarah and his of course, guess what? When you were speaking, we did not like each other, and that the cardinal did not have the queen either. But he didn't know anything about Sarah and his sister. However, he didn't want the landlord to know he didn't know. This then continued while lunch break. Now he wants revenge. He thinks that they have really good deal of talking something and treating some family. Know that they give the rest of the week. I'm sure they will have some sort of traffic for him. I think they will force my wife to ask this one for my partner. Do you have any idea about I think I know him. It's the cardinal's private spy. I don't know his name, but I've seen him. He's 45 years old, has dark hair and a well-trimmed black mustache. He also has a scar on his chin. No, I got the letter. Getting that letter. Senor, look this good when you're finished. Do not forget my wife. We'll give her back to you when we are finished with her. The landlord came to the window and said, look there, the next building over the street. Nathaniel looked out the window and saw London Liverpool. You'll see the man from beyond. The letter still was wiping down wrapper. Nathaniel opened the door and got out of the room. On the stairs, he ran toward the outlook of the coffee. The man from beyond shouted and let him go. They had heard the story and he had left them one by man. They went upstairs to the room to empty the landlord's cyanide with fragrant fumes. Nathaniel rushed up and down the street with his strong sword, but could not find the man from beyond. Returned to the house from the street and knocked on the door of the neighbor with the head out the window and told him that the man was difficult. He returned to his own room, where Arthur had meanwhile turned on and stopped. He told the musketeer and the story, and Arthur told them his story. And now, many different friends and me, and was easy to stand you.
And he's your courage.
And the four friends were considering this. They heard the stories at the door, and in that moment, Thomas referred to the room. Al shouted, the musketeer threw the gun ready to fire the policeman. But Nathaniel told him to put it away. The policeman entered the room and must be convinced of the landlord and the musketeer. Nathaniel helped them to arrest the landlord. He even offered the policeman some of the wine he had obtained from the landlord. When they had gone, Gordon and Aramis turned on Stephanie and complained about what he had done. And that hurt their friend.
有可能那个人就是
不是他逮捕他朋友，然后说他天才是凤山的。
他做的
真的，
是他真的觉得他做的好。
有可能那个人就是那个Cardinal。
哦，好。
你好像
不是不是，好懂。
看不懂他到底是干嘛。
不懂。
我根本只是皮皮，我根本没有在里面那种。
这个是那个为什么
被打。噔噔。
关的叫 format。
我永远怕进入感觉。还有没？
来发个屁哦。
你这个。叶威爸爸，我都大家看的。
你哪里要给他？哪里要给他？
我0分，
好可怜。
我物理21分。
好棒。
好少。
好，21分然后全部。
不是啊，我说班排全部。
校排前5
物理
不要哦。
可以班排前5。
没有，不是物理，就总共，全部加起来。
对啊，你物理21分，然后还可以全部班排前5。
班长是在
最高还是
气压很高，气压很高。
啊，你们剩下的？
没有，我们班都打鱼啊，不用。
现在已经有烂成这样了。
普遍打鱼，社会组普通班就是打鱼嘛，就是这个理由。
哦，
跟我说。
还有女生没？
你要不要下一次来？
美剧类没有女生没？
啊，女生早就有北齐。
哦，有没有综艺的？
啊？
没也
有没有综艺的啊？
综艺。
综艺的。
综艺。你说那个综艺吗？
不是，有没有女综艺的？
没有啊。
不要。
有没有班队啊？
这个是什么？
干嘛？
皮肤科医生，然后这个是独裁者。
哇，好厉害哦。
不客气。
100分呢。
伊里头呗。伊里头。
对啊。那你看这样班的人会吗？
我们没有管分的，就算有班队也会被我们拆散。
我不好，不可怜哦。
因为我们讨厌这种。
这样看起来是。
我们最讨厌有班队的。
啊，对，我们班已经3队了，而且你。
How are you? Everybody. 哦，那么。
我一直都很想成为第4队。
但是没办法。你可以跟 V 呀。
我指的就是这样，但是还等一下。没关系，这是作为很有的。
那你真的喜欢 V 好
？Hello。
啊，这就算吧。
哇。
到时候真交到女朋友，我就要把你拍
没办法写出所有的答案，这是查课本的。
我就快交。